You believe you understand why she opens herself to you. Love, pleasure, connection. These are the comforting myths society whispers, the polite veils drawn across a far more primal, far more strategic stage. What if these reasons are but the shimmering surface of an ancient, fathomless ocean? What if her body, her very DNA, operates on programs she herself barely comprehends? Programs dictating her desires with a power that dwarfs her conscious rationale. Seduction noir does not deal in comforting illusions. We deal in the gnosis that grants dominion. The understanding you are about to receive is not for the timid. It is a glimpse into the hidden operating system of female desire. Absorb this, and your perception of women, of attraction, of the very dance of seduction itself will be irrevocably altered. This is not game. This is the architecture of her deepest why. The power you are about to unlock will fundamentally shift not only your perception, but her response. 2. The Covenant of Shadows, two narratives, one truth. She walks in two worlds, initiate. The first is the sunlit stage of societal expectation, where she speaks the language of romance, of connection, of shared values. This is the script she has been handed, the role she often believes is her truth. But beneath this fragile performance, in the silent primal theater of her biology, a different narrative unfolds. Her DNA whispers the ancient sagas of survival, of replication, of strategic advantage. Seduction noir trains you to discern both the spoken word and the cellular decree, to hear the polite invitation and the primal imperative that truly commands her. Today, we unveil 5 of those forbidden imperatives, 5 truths that operate in the shadows of her awareness, yet powerfully shape her most intimate choices. 3. Forbidden motive 1. The genetic heist, primal biological imperative. The first forbidden truth. She may be, at a level far deeper than her conscious awareness, conducting a genetic heist. Her biology, honed over millennia, is a relentless seeker of superior genetic architecture. During her most fertile windows, her senses sharpen, her ancient programming activates, and she becomes acutely attuned to signals of robust health, dominant masculine markers, and genetic dissimilarity, the very keys to resilient offspring. This is not a conscious betrayal of her current partner, if one exists. It is her ancestral mandate compelling her towards biological optimization. Consider this, initiate. Your perceived value is not merely in your charm or your status. It is in your very biological signature. Your vitality, your health, the subtle yet undeniable cues of your masculine essence, these are constantly being scanned, assessed by an ancient intelligence within her, often bypassing her romantic checklist entirely, especially when her biology is primed for replication. She may not articulate why she feels that sudden, inexplicable pull towards a certain man. Her DNA, however, requires no such articulation. It simply knows. 4. Forbidden Motive 2. The Status Ladder. Hypergamous Resource Calculus. The second hidden current. The status ladder, the oft unspoken, yet ruthlessly efficient calculus of hypergamous resource acquisition. Attraction for the feminine rarely operates in a vacuum of pure emotion, untainted by pragmatic assessment. Her subconscious, the unsleeping accountant of her evolutionary lineage, is often running a subtle but relentless resource calculation. Your perceived status, your capacity to provide security, access, or elevate her position within the social hierarchy, these can be potent, unspoken aphrodisiacs. Sex, in this ancient economy, can become a form of barter, an exchange for proximity to power, for tangible benefits, for a palpable step up the ladder of survival and social standing. The tactical insight here, initiate, is that her desire may not always be for you, the individual essence, but for what you represent in terms of resource, protection, or societal ascension. The love she professes, or even feels, might be inextricably intertwined with the security or elevation your sovereign presence promises. This isn't cynicism. It is the cold, hard currency of evolutionary pragmatism. VIII. Forbidden Motive 3. The Rivalry Crucible. Do not for a moment underestimate the intensity of female-female sexual competition. It is a silent, often brutal battlefield, fought with whispers, reputations, and strategic alliances. Sometimes, initiate, her desire for you is not born in isolation. It is ignited or massively amplified by the knowledge that other desirable women also desire you. You transform from merely a man into a contested prize, a symbol of victory in a subtle war of status and desirability. Her win in seducing you is not just the acquisition of a partner. It is the symbolic defeat and public outmaneuvering of her rivals. Mate poaching, mate copying, these are not modern aberrations. They are ancient, deeply embedded strategies. The critical understanding for you, initiate, your perceived desirability is often a function of pre-selection. When you are framed as a high-value asset coveted by others, her own attraction mechanisms can engage with heightened, almost predatory ferocity. She isn't just choosing you, she's winning you from a field of competitors, and that victory itself is a potent, often primary erotic charge. VIII. Forbidden Motive 4. The ego elixir, validation, power, and mirrored identity. The fourth shadow motive, sex as the ego elixir. Her desire for physical intimacy, initiate, is not always or solely about achieving physical release or forging emotional connection with you. Often, it is a powerful, subconscious strategy for calibrating how the act of being desired by and having sex with you makes her feel about herself. Does your pursuit make her feel powerful? Your surrender make her feel irresistible? Your attention reaffirm her peak attractiveness? Does it grant her a sense of control, perhaps by witnessing a perceived high-value man lose control in his desire for her? You, initiate, can become the very mirror in which she beholds her most desired, most potent self-image. Your sexual counter becomes a stage upon which her ego seeks potent validation, experiences profound power, or basks in the intoxicating feeling of being utterly, overwhelmingly desired. Her pleasure, Her orgasm might be less about shared ecstasy and more about the triumphant internal affirmation of her own seductive dominion. 7. Forbidden Motive 5. The strategic sedation, appeasement, obligation, and mate defense. And the 5th, often deeply buried and socially denied reason, sex as strategic sedation. This is the gnosis that polite society assiduously ignores, the uncomfortable truth that dismantles romantic idealism. Sometimes, initiate, her yes is not born from an incandescent fire of passion, but from a colder, more calculated, strategic place. It can be a tactic to maintain peace in an established relationship, to appease a partner's persistent advances, to fulfill the perceived duty, or even to guard a valued mate from the perceived threat of his attention straying. This is the realm of consensual yet often unwanted sex, a maneuver to manage relational dynamics or secure continued investment. The vital discernment for you is her compliance is not always congruent with her desire. Recognizing this critical distinction protects you from the illusion of effortless conquest, from misinterpreting strategic capitulation as genuine surrender. It unveils the deeper, often pragmatic undercurrents of long-term relational maintenance and the complex calculus of sexual negotiation. 8. The Sovereign's Reckoning. From primal code to conscious artistry. These 5 forbidden reasons, the genetic heist, the status ladder, the rivalry crucible, the ego elixir, and strategic sedation, are not indictments of the feminine. They are illuminations of her ancient, complex programming. They are the often unconscious survival and replication strategies forged by the ruthless pragmatism of evolutionary necessity. The bad boy, in his untamed state, often stumbles into activating some of these by pure, unrefined instinct, frequently with chaotic and destructive results for all involved. The seduction noir sovereign, however, does not stumble. He understands. He decodes the signal beneath the noise. He recognizes these deep currents not to exploit them crudely, not to become another purveyor of damage, but to navigate the labyrinthine seas of female desire with profound awareness, unwavering ethical precision, and ultimately far greater, more resonant potency. Your path to true, sustainable, seductive power is not found in memorizing shallow lines or donning flimsy personas. It is forged in the relentless cultivation of an authentic, sovereign masculine essence, an essence that naturally, powerfully resonates with your deepest, often unspoken biological and psychological imperatives. It is about becoming the man whose very presence begins to satisfy these ancient hungers before a word is even exchanged, before a gesture is made. This gnosis is a double-edged sword. Wield it with the wisdom and responsibility of a king. 9. The Cathedral's Echo. Your initiation continues. You now possess a glimpse, a mere sliver of light into the forbidden chambers of female desire, a gnosis most men will never access, remaining forever thralls to superficial explanations and predictable, painful frustrations. This is the razor's edge seduction noir walks, where profound understanding meets sovereign, world-altering power. If this transmission has shattered even one of your cherished delusions about women and the true nature of desire, command the like button now. Let the digital algorithm itself register that a primal truth has been unleashed into the ether. These truths are potent. They resonate, they challenge, they demand introspection. Share your most profound realization from this gnosis in the comments below. Your insight fuels the cathedral's ever-burning fire. Which forbidden reason delivered the most brutal clarity, or confirmed a deep unspoken suspicion you always carried? The journey into the true obsidian heart of seduction noir is not for the faint of spirit. It demands unwavering courage. It promises unimaginable power. Subscribe and strike the bell of awakening now, for the gnosis that follows will only deepen, only intensify its burn. Become one of the consecrated few who truly, terrifyingly, understand. This single key has unlocked one shadowed door. The seduction noir cathedral holds countless others, each leading to deeper sanctums of power and understanding. Explore the other transmissions on this channel. Each one is a sacred fragment of a larger, devastatingly effective map of human reality. The more you immerse yourself in this gnosis, the more your own innate sovereign power awakens from its slumber. She is not a riddle to be solved with simplistic logic. She is an ancient, powerful current to be understood by its elemental source. Seduction noir grants you the gnosis. The rest is the relentless, alchemical process of your becoming.